Hello and welcome to Life After 3D episode 19. For some reason I thought it was episode 20, but I didn't do one last week. I'd done one at the weekend, and also I was having a bit of a bad week with my depression, so it didn't seem to be a good idea to put a video on here with me in the middle of a massive depressive episode. I'm a little bit better now, not 100%, but you know. Right, so what's going on in the land of Wayne? There'll probably be no catchy title on this one because it's more functional stuff that's happening. I am planning on doing a series of tutorials, commercial tutorials. I'm going to sit down this afternoon. I already have a few ideas and work out the rest of the ideas of things I want to do. Now, here's the crux of the whole thing. Obviously, these hands being fairly knackered, while I can still work, I only work about a maximum of 2 hours a day, and that's pushing it. So it will take longer than usual to probably get these out. Instead of doing, say, them all over a week, I might have to do it over 3 weeks. Another idea is to make shorter videos. Because there's always the temptation when you're doing commercial tutorials to make them longer. Because people like to get value for money. However, that is not value for money. I've always tried to keep them concise. The idea of these is to make them effectively as short but as information-packed as possible and clear. So some videos might only be, 15, 20 minutes long, but they will have everything you need to know in them, right? So part of the commercial idea behind this is, look, lots of us don't have any money. I'm about to crash and burn financially unless there's some sort of income coming very soon. But everybody else is fairly skint as well. So the idea is that I have a better chance of these things selling if they're at a lower price than one giant block. You know, let's assume I'm not planning on doing anything on 3D Studio Max at the current time, but let's assume I was, right? And I was going to release a big giant mega set of X amount of volumes that came to something like 38 hours, but it was going to cost you 100 quid. Now, knowledge-wise, that's pretty good sort of going for that amount of knowledge. However, most people are not going to fork that out. However, if you say, right, well, I've got 20 videos here, each on a certain subject, and they maybe cost, I don't know, $10 or something, you've got a chance of more sales. That's the theory behind it. Now, whether people still have enough money to buy them, well, we'll have to see. As I say, I'm not going to give away what I'm working on because I know some bastards out there will make sure they get there first, and that'll kill my sales off. And while they have a fucking income, I don't right now at all, whatsoever. I get a small amount for teaching at the uni, and I mean a small amount. It's certainly not enough to pay the bills, because I'm only working 3 hours a week. I would like to think that goes up. You know, if it doesn't, I'm well fucked ski. So that's what I've got planned there. Other things, well, I'm noticing a lot of problems with this hand lately. It's not the nerve damage, this is something else. I'm hoping it's not carpal tunnel back on top of it, but it's right there. And it feels like somebody pressing in, like something's swollen. No, I can still move my hands fine, but it's just really annoying, doesn't go away. So I have managed, after 4.5 years, to get an appointment to see my doctor. One of the reasons for this is, I like a lot of doctor surgeries in the UK currently. For a number of years, you have to phone up at 8:30 on a sodding morning or something, which when everybody else phones up, and that is the only time you can get an appointment, unless you use the online system, which I know you're all thinking about. However, the way it works with our local doctors is you go on this thing, go, oh, virtual appointments, click on that. Oh, there's a link, click on that link. It's not the thing you're looking for. So you go, then it sends you back with another page and you go round in a recursive circle. The wife spotted that the link is actually hidden away in tiny weeny text somewhere on the website. Now I know where it's at. I'm going to be a terminal pain in the arse. So I've got an appointment on the 14th, which is next week. I think it's Thursday. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go and talk about, the doctors, about the things that are affecting my life most, my quality of life. My arthritis has not been checked since I think it was 2016, 2017, early 2017 at the latest. And over the years, it's got a lot worse now. It needs checking again. Needs a full set of x-rays of my hips, my knees, my ankles and my feet. See if there's anything that can do to improve it. Obviously, I'm seeing them about the hands as well. seeing if there's any treatments that I'm aware of that can, well, I very much doubt they'll be wind the clock back, but can they at least stabilise and improve the range of movement and stuff that I currently have? Yeah, that wouldn't mean I'll be able to go back, at the cool faces that were 3D in production, but it would mean then that I'll be able to get stuff like tutorials out more regularly and faster. Now, I don't know. I've also got to go and try and get me to see the foot guy so I can get some more arch supports, because the ones I've had at the moment I've had for about 5 years or so. They're held together with double-sided sticky tape and super glue. So that's not really helping either. And the fact that when I'm standing here now, I'm having hellish pain in my left hip, and my feet are always hurting. It's the reason why you'll see me, I shuffle a lot like this. And if I'm out on a night time and see I'm going into a smoking area, I will see me pacing up and down. This is not because I'm agitated. This is because that is the only way to stop my feet from fucking hurting. Otherwise, I'll get a minute in and it feels like everything's red raw, all the joints, and it's really painful. It's also why it's imperative that I have a seat now when I'm going on a night time. But I'm hoping some of this might sort itself out. Now, one of my theories about the arthritis is it's being made worse on top of that by a lot of other things that are going on with the musculature, one of those words I have trouble saying, because my left leg is shorter than my right. So of course when I'm standing, I stand, whoops, I've just knocked the mic there, hopefully I didn't make a massive noise. I stand like this with most weight on my left leg, and my right leg sort of like that a lot of the time. Or cross-legged with the right behind, which looks a bit, behind the left, it looks a bit weird, but it's slightly more comfortable. So maybe just raising the left arch support up slightly at the heel might help that. I don't know. That's just going from experience over the years, things I've been told when I've, been at the, people used to call chiropodist, whose name I can't remember now. What are they called? Podiatrist, that's it, podiatrist. I'll remember it eventually. Also of note, a few days ago, it was 11 years since my first stroke, and a lot of people think it would be an unhappy time for me. It's not. I'll tell you why. I thought, because that first one, it was a flip of a coin. I could have very easily have dropped dead, either then or very shortly afterwards. And I started realising all the things I would have missed out on, both the good and the bad, over the last 11 years. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of shit happened. A lot of tremendous amount of shit has happened in my life. There's also some really good things I would have missed out on. So I'm sort of glad, it took away the majority of my memories of the 1990s. The only bits of the birth of both of my kids I can remember is cutting the cord. Things I guess I'm left with the world's worst short-term and medium-term memory. But you know what? I see that as a fair trade. Although my kids weren't born in the 90s, for some reason they attacked that little bubble of memories. I don't understand why. I'm not a neurosurgeon, But so I thought it was a fair trade, you know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse. We had a big family party at the weekend on Saturday. That was nice seeing a lot of cousins and family members that I don't get to see very often, because some of them don't live in the northeast of England, and some of them live down Leeds, stuff like this, and it's, some live up in Scotland. It's nice for everybody to be in one room, because the age we all are now, everybody's going to get married, probably married and had kids, so there's no christenings to do, no weddings, and the only time we see each other is funerals, which are depressing as fuck. So it was decided, I think it was my cousin Nigel's daughter Emma, to have just a party for happy reasons, which is a good idea. I recommend every family does that, because then you have a good talk to people. So yeah, there's a lot of things currently, as I keep hinting at, because I can't actually see on camera because it involves other people that are not me, going on in my life at the moment. It's got me in a constant state of, it's a bit like a flywheel in a watch, right? Mine's currently running at light speed, and so is my brother's, because some of the things overlap, but it doesn't leave a lot of processing power left for anything else, and it leaves me a lot of the time mentally exhausted, but which of course is perfect timing, isn't it, when I've actually got to have my brain working and thinking of new ways to make money. I think one of the things that's putting employers off as well, ironically, is these. Because even if it's something that I don't really need to use my hands very much in any given day, the fact that I can't scares a lot of them. So I'm left with all this 27 years of knowledge across various fields in my head, but because of these, I might still end up broke, skinned. That doesn't seem to make much sense, you know. It's why I'm looking more at the teaching side, trying to see what I can do there. Because although you still need to be able to do things, it's not like you're working at the cliff face, in 3D. It's not as intensive in most cases. So that's one of the only routes I can see. Everything else I've tried, every other side business has fell on its arse. I've said in a few videos, if there's one time not to change careers or start a new business, it's right now. We're at the start of another recession. The world, is all over the place. We've got freaking petrol prices going through the roof, energy prices going through the roof. I'm not going to get into the politics of all that, but, I think that all is not quite as it seems in regards to that. If you look at the profits these companies are still making, I'll leave it at that. But the bottom line is, majority of people are a lot worse off than they were. So I can understand why people might not be able to support a new business because they haven't got the money. It's not because they don't want to, or because, fuck him, because you're doing something. It's nothing to do with that. It's the fact people haven't got money. And I perfectly understand that. Being a skint person myself, that'll probably make a good thumbnail, that, wouldn't it? But yeah, so that's what's going on at the moment. And I did notice there's a few discussions I've been noticed about can AI images be copyrighted? Well, your bottom line on that is, the thing itself that comes out of an AI, no, because it's not made by a human. However, once you start changing it and do a few brush strokes, put some filters on it, yes, you fucking can, because people have been doing this with public domain images to put on things like t-shirts and posters for donkey's years. So then you can copyright it. Either that or all these people are fucking wrong. Feel free to argue. I really couldn't give a shit because, I don't see something like that as being commercially ready on its own right now, if you know what I mean. We're very close. And it's certainly usable if you use it as a basis for other stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Otherwise, I'll just rattle on about random shit for the next 10 minutes. And I really don't feel like it. I've got a lot of stuff to do, and I've got to keep what motivation I have left to start working out what videos I'm going to do that you're all not going to buy. Okay, I know some of you will buy it. I'm just pulling your leg, but, it's just, I think I said in the last one, if I didn't, I meant to. One of the things that stopped me doing it until now isn't just my hands. It's the fact that I only have a certain amount of usage in my hands in any given day. So if I'm recording a tutorial or a few of them that are going to go out and, separate ones like I mentioned, I've got to be sure as shit that they are going to sell. Otherwise, that's time wasted. But if I do nothing, that's also time wasted. So, my brain can't win at times, it's amazing. A friend of mine that owns my local said a couple of weeks ago, and he's on about my ability to overthink, and I was on my way back from the toilet, and I'm like, Steve, mate, I overthink breathing. That's part of my problem. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's not going to be, I'm not going to come in the next video and go, yes, I've got 47 videos done. This is going to take a while. There is no universe where this is going to go fast, unless there's minimal clicky on the screen, right? So we'll see. I might do some on Discord Diffusion. Trouble is, I was just about to do one, and then they changed the engine, and a lot of the variables changed as well that I was able to use, and they stopped working. So I don't want to put one out for it to be obsolete inside of a week, right? Or by the time I release it. That's the trouble. That's the only reason I haven't done one now. Although the thing is, you wouldn't be seeing. It's not like you're teaching somebody Mudbox where you've got Mudbox there. This is going to be effectively a glorified PowerPoint presentation with a list of variables and examples of what happens when you use them. But again, I've got to wait until that's stable enough, and they don't do as many big changes before we dare record on that. Otherwise, I'm just pissing against the wind. Anyway, I'll see you all next time, and it's episode 20 next time, so I should make it to 20 next time. Assuming I don't drop dead before then, or jump off a fucking bridge. It's all possibilities here. Anyway, right, I'll see you all next time. I'm Wayne Robson. Bye-bye.